Hi, welcome back. Listen, this is the professor speaking. At this moment, you will learn something new and interesting.
Have you ever wondered how entire societies can fall into collective madness? How can rational individuals suddenly embrace irrational beliefs, paranoia, or hysteria? This phenomenon is called mass psychosis, a state where large groups of people lose touch with reality, often driven by fear, propaganda, or extreme ideology. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that your thoughts don't feel like your own. Reality seems distorted. You hear voices, see things that aren't there, and believe ideas that others say are irrational. This is psychosis, a severe mental condition where an individual loses touch with reality. It can be triggered by trauma, extreme stress, substance abuse, or mental illness like schizophrenia. But what happens when not just one person, but an entire society falls into delusion? When large groups of people begin to believe in irrational ideas, false fears, and paranoia? This phenomenon is called mass psychosis, and it has shaped the course of history in some of the most terrifying ways. What is mass psychosis? Mass psychosis happens when a large portion of a society begins thinking and acting in ways that are detached from reality, leading to fear-driven behaviors, persecution, or even violence. A collective mental disorder where large groups adopt irrational beliefs and behaviors. When a large group of people starts experiencing a distorted perception of reality, we call it mass psychosis. Instead of an individual losing touch with reality, entire communities, even nations, can fall into a state of collective madness. This can happen due to propaganda, fear, political manipulation, social pressure, or extreme ideologies. Here are some historical examples of mass psychosis. The witch hunts of 16th to 17th century. In the 16th and 17th centuries, thousands of people, mostly women, were accused of witchcraft, tortured, and executed. Fear and religious hysteria spread like wildfire, causing innocent people to be condemned without evidence. These accusations were often fueled by paranoia, personal vendettas, or religious fears, leading to mob violence and executions. The rise of totalitarian regimes, 20th century. Mass psychosis can also be seen in the rise of totalitarian regimes around the world. Through fear, censorship, and propaganda, dictators have convinced entire populations to turn against each other, surrender freedoms, and commit atrocities in the name of ideology. The Tulip Mania, 1630s. Economic mass psychosis. Not all mass psychosis is violent sometimes, it's economic. In the 1630s, the Dutch society experienced tulip mania, where tulip bulb prices skyrocketed to insane levels, only to crash overnight, leaving many bankrupt. The Partition of India, 1947. Mass fear and violence. Leading up to and following India's independence, mass hysteria fueled religious violence between Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs. Fake news, fear-mongering, and political manipulation led to one of the largest forced migrations in history, with over 1 million people killed in riots and massacres. The Emergency, 1975 to 1977. Mass fear and suppression. When Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi declared emergency, widespread propaganda and censorship led to an atmosphere of mass paranoia. Many believed that criticizing the government would result in imprisonment or worse, leading to collective silence and fear-driven obedience. The Monkey Man Scare, 2001, Delhi. A mysterious monkey man was rumored to be attacking people at night in Delhi. Reports of injuries, hysteria, and mass panic spread through the city. Despite a lack of concrete evidence, people claimed to see the creature, leading to mass paranoia and even deaths caused by panic-driven accidents. The 2018 WhatsApp mob lynching. Fake news about child kidnappers spread via WhatsApp messages in different parts of India, leading to mass hysteria. Several innocent people were lynched by angry mobs acting on unverified rumors. This incident highlighted how digital misinformation can fuel mass psychosis. COVID-19, pandemic, 2020-2021. Misinformation and fear. The COVID-19 crisis saw mass psychosis in various forms. Panic buying, irrational fears about certain communities spreading the virus, and widespread misinformation about unproven cures. Lockdowns and fear-based media narratives contributed to psychological distress and paranoia in large sections of society. Modern-day mass psychosis, media, social media, and fear culture. Today, mass psychosis spreads faster than ever thanks to 24/7 news cycles, social media algorithms, and fear-based reporting. From financial bubbles to global hysteria, society keeps falling into collective delusions. How does mass psychosis happen? Mass psychosis is not random. It follows a pattern. Here's how it works. Fear as a trigger. Fear is the #1 trigger. When people are constantly afraid, their ability to think critically shuts down. They seek safety, even at the cost of freedom. Confusion and disorientation. When there's too much conflicting information, people feel lost. They stop questioning and look for an authority figure to guide them, even if that leader is manipulating them. A common enemy, scapegoating. To maintain control, leaders create an enemy, whether it's a political group, a race, or an ideology. People unite under fear, turning against others in the name of security. Conformity and social pressure. When enough people believe in something, the pressure to conform becomes overwhelming. Even skeptics eventually go along to avoid isolation or punishment. Censorship and suppression of dissent. Finally, dissent is silenced. Those who challenge the narrative are ridiculed, censored, or punished. At this point, mass psychosis is complete. Only one truth is allowed. How to break free from mass psychosis. Awareness and critical thinking. The first step is awareness. Ask yourself, is this fear justified? Who benefits from this narrative? Think critically, question authority, and seek multiple perspectives. Emotional control and reducing fear. Fear clouds judgment. Reduce exposure to fear-based media. Focus on facts, not emotions. Stay calm and think rationally. Encourage free speech and open debate. When open discussion is allowed, mass psychosis weakens. Encourage debate, ask tough questions, and support free speech, even for those you disagree with. Strengthen community and individual thought. Mass psychosis thrives in isolation. Build strong, rational communities that promote independent thinking instead of blind conformity. Can we prevent mass psychosis? History has shown us that mass psychosis is a recurring problem, but it can be stopped. The key is education, awareness, and courage. Will we learn from history or repeat it? The choice is ours. What are your thoughts? Have you seen examples of mass psychosis in history or today? Let's discuss in the comments.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to listen to the professor again. Signing off. Take care.